Welcome to the Plant Power Woman Show. I'm vegan coach Naomi, a certified vegan lifestyle coach and plant-based weight loss and health transformation coach. What does that mean? That simply means that I specialize in helping women through the transition from the standard American diet or a junk food vegan diet to a whole food plant-based no oil way of eating so that you can experience serious weight loss and measurable health results in a way that is delicious and doable. So tonight we're going to be doing some real food stuff. We're going to be talking about carbs, everybody's favorite topic, and we're going to get some learnings. In the next 15 minutes, you're going to come away with some aha moments. Okay, so the topic for tonight is, are you still afraid that eating carbs is going to make you fat? So let me know if you're on here. Let me know that you can hear me and see me so that I know that we can get started, because I love answering your comments. I love hearing what you guys are saying and thinking. So let me know if you can hear me and see me. So, are you still afraid that eating carbs is going to make you fat? Okay, so this is for you if you are dieting low carb, right? Low carb, oh my God, I gotta be low carb. So you're not eating pasta, you're not eating bread, you're not eating potatoes, corn, grains like rice, all the foods you love, right? There's a lot to unlearn on this topic from Main Street diet culture that you're hearing all over TikTok, and you're hearing it on Facebook, and you're hearing it in the newspaper, and you're hearing it everywhere. But you know where you're not hearing it? You're not hearing it here in this group, along with 10,000 other women who have seen the medical evidence and learned the medical evidence for ultimate health and longevity with the whole food, plant-based, no oil way of eating. Okay, so let's see who's here. Patricia, nice to meet you on the live stream. You've never been to one of these before. Welcome, welcome. Lisa Huey, high five. It's nice to see your face pop up. Kathleen, nice to see you live on the live stream. That's wonderful. Pam, hello. Nancy, is this your first time on the live stream? I don't think I recognize your name. Susan, how are you? I'm so glad you're here today. All right, so still afraid of eating carbs? Let me know in the comments if you are still afraid of eating carbs. I know that Susan Winning is not afraid of eating carbs because she has lost, like, tell us again how many pounds you've lost. Every time she comes on a live stream, I make her do that. But, you know, Sherry Smith, she just typed into the comments today that just from coming to these live streams, she's not even in my private coaching groups, just from chatting with me in Messenger, just from these live streams, she has reduced her A1C from something really high in the 7s to down into the low 6s. Sherry, type into the comments your A1C results for all these nice ladies. Susan has lost almost 70-ish pounds, and she's in the cooking club with us, and she is one of my green goddesses to help moderate this group and get you the resources that you ask for. And in our cooking club, we cook carbs. Every single time we cook together, right, Susan? She's eaten them all. Leah is one of our diet rebels, has lost more than 40 pounds. She loves the carbs, and she's 43 pounds down. Yes, Leah, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Kathleen, wonderful. I'm so glad you had pasta tonight. That's what we're having. Sherry's A1C, you guys get ready. Sherry's A1C, if you're diabetic, is for you. Went from 7.9 to 6.4. What the heck? Just from changing the food, eating food that you love. All right. So again, there's lots of people on here. This is for you if you're dieting low carb and you're not eating pasta, bread, potatoes, corn, grains like rice, and all these foods you love. We gotta unlearn it. And I know this because this is how almost all of my diet rebels step into coaching with me. And not only that, they're coming from other big name coaching programs like Dr. Furman's program, Chef AJ's Facebook closed membership, or Mastering Diabetes, all of these things, Healthy Emmy, they all have something in common that by the end of this live stream, you are going to know what it is. And you're going to hear something tonight that is going to blow your mind about why this whole food plant-based lifestyle may have been so hard for you in the past and why you couldn't stick to it. Okay, so the Diet Rebel women, they are working with me right now. They come in 100% ready to dive in and completely let go of this old dieting paradigm about low carb. All right, because that's the problem. Okay, so they have heard the medical evidence for this whole food plant-based lifestyle, and they have 100% conviction that this is the lifestyle they want for themselves. And they want to get my help to do it. Now, if you've never heard of this medical evidence, this is the first time you're hearing this, I have a documentaries list that you must watch. If you want to learn this and you want to hear dozens of plant-based physicians explaining this medical evidence, type into the comments documentaries, and one of my green goddesses, that's Gail or Susan, they will get you that documentaries list, or I will tomorrow. Okay? So here's what happens. The women that come to work with me, some of them are like Sherry and Susan. They don't need to work with me. They stumble around, they figure it out on their own, and they get the results themselves. You can. The information is out there on the internet. I do these free live streams every single week. My recipes are free. You can do it, right? But the women that come to work with me are the ones who say to themselves, God damn, I just can't put this together on my own. I just want some help with this. Okay, they admit that to themselves. They just come to a point where they're saying to themselves, whatever I was doing or I'm doing, it's just not working. I just can't get this to work. There must be something that I'm missing. And they just can't put it together for themselves or stick to it. And what happens is they're still sick and fat 6 months later, a year later, 2 years later, they're still sick and they're just gaining weight. And then when they finally come to talk to me, they can't wait one more minute, sick and overweight, scared for their health, sad, confused about their health. They can't wait another minute. But as painful as that is, and a lot of them come with health scares, like being put on insulin or having cancer diagnosis or having a heart attack or just like really scary stuff, right? And painful, but it makes them brave and powerful, and they plunk down the thousands of dollars that it costs to work with me. And then they have my help and guidance to simply implement my one-of-a-kind systems and solutions in a personal, doable way just for each one of them, and they start to lose the weight and feel better starting in the very first week. Like pounds they could not lose for a year, poof, in 1 week starts to go. So what do we all want? We want to lose weight in a sustainable way, right? Without the dieting craziness. So like the starving and the counting calories and the I can't do it and I failed and I hate myself and I'm so fat. We want to just get rid of the dieting craziness. And so that means eating foods, specific foods in a way that we love so that it sticks. An evidence-based approach in a way that we love so it sticks. And this means we're not just going to fall into old junk food habits. So, I want to start you off on the right foot by understanding why eating carbs in a way that you love makes all the difference. Let's see what Kathleen is saying. What's a reasonable period to start seeing results? 2 weeks, 1 month? So the women that work with me, they start to lose weight and feel better in the very first week. It depends, like, I don't know. It depends what you're eating and what you're doing. So when you're following my plan, very first week, poof. Okay, so where was I? I want to start you off on the right foot so that you understand why eating carbs in a way that you love makes all the difference. So, I'm going to fill my own dinner plate right now, and you're going to see, okay, you're going to see what's going to happen. Here I am. Here we go. And then we're going to talk about what's on my plate and why, okay? That's what we're going to do. Okay, so eating carbs in a way that you love is what makes all the difference. So who here loves pasta? Let me know in the comments if you love pasta. So Nancy's like, is that white pasta? Is that white pasta? Well, guess what? If you live in a place where they don't sell whole grain pasta, so for example, I'm in Belize, which is in Central America, number one. Number two, let's say you hate whole grain pasta. Let's say you think it tastes grainy and shitty. And let's say that you hate that chickpea pasta. And let's say that you think rice pasta is gummy and horrible. And let's say that you hate it unless it's this, okay? All right? Let's say that you hate it unless it's this. Okay, so it's going to be no good if you hate it. So that's the very first thing you said it right out, right there. You think you have to eat all these things, but it's not true, okay? You have to do it in a way that you love or it's not going to stick. All right, so people never believe me when they see my big, beautiful plates of food, regular people. You guys, you're going to believe me because you see, okay? Big, beautiful plates of plant food like this. I've lost 40 pounds 8 years ago, and I've kept it off this entire time. Do you think I'm having a protein problem? Dare say not. Kept it off for 8 years. So I understand that it's hard to believe because this looks like a lot of food, doesn't it? Yeah. So here's what it is. It's true, it's a lot of food. But here's why I'm not afraid to eat carbs. And neither are any of my weight loss Diet Rebel clients. It's because it's what you eat with the carbs that's the problem. And that's the most important thing that you need to understand about the whole food plant-based lifestyle if you want to maintain your weight easily and never starve yourself dieting and eating food you hate again. So this is so you guys, you're going to want a pen and a paper if you want to write down the names of these recipes so that you can search them on my website. So this is lentil quinoa bolognese. So let's discuss, am I ridiculously good roasted broccoli? So let's discuss the difference between this and what most people do with pasta. So tell me, what do you like to put on pasta? Meaning, what does your family like? What is the standard American way, or what is the vegan junk food that you like to put on your pasta? What is it that you like to put on to roast broccoli? How do you roast broccoli? Let me know. Let's see what everybody's saying. Susan says some of those pastas are really expensive. Patricia says garlic. Yes. What else? What do most people roast vegetables in? What does the standard American family want to put on their pasta? Okay? So let's talk about it. So that's right. Salt, cheese, oil, and oil. That's exactly right. Leah, you got it, oil. So if you're cooking it in oil and butter, right? Butter, oil, and you're putting on meat and cheese on top of your pasta, what are you adding? You're adding a serious amount of inflammatory saturated fat, cholesterol, carcinogens, toxic metabolic compounds. And imagine that you add those animal foods to your meals 3 times a day. Now let's say you're a vegan, junk food vegan, okay? So what do you got here? You'll have your Beyond Meat crumbles. What are you adding? A ton of saturated fat, oil, salt, sugar, right? Carcinogens and toxic metabolic compounds. The only thing you're not adding is cholesterol, but there's so much fat in it, it's going to raise your cholesterol anyway, okay? Cheese. Cheese. Everybody's putting cheese, right? So if you're putting on meat and cheese, you're adding all of that saturated fat, cholesterol, carcinogens, toxic metabolic compounds. Now, Imagine that you add those foods to your meals 3 times every day, plus snacks and drinks. That's why you can't lose weight and why you have health problems like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high glucose, prediabetes, despite thinking you eat healthy and you don't eat that much. So when women get on a call with me about Diet Rebel, they, we'll discuss how they're feeling, and then we'll discuss what do they eat in a day, and it'll be something like animal foods, salt, fat, sugar, fat, nuts, fat, and fat, and they very quickly see that that's why they could never lose weight. They don't know what else to eat instead. Right? So I'm here to show you what else to eat instead. So it doesn't take much animal foods or vegan junk foods to add up to way over what any human being needs in a day of calories, in a day of protein, and in a day of fat. And if it's animal products, the cholesterol. It's so much that it makes you fat and sick, really sick. That's the epidemics of obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and cancer that we have in this country today, okay? So, if you do like me and how I teach my clients, right, your sauce does not have any of that toxic stuff and fat and whatnot. Your sauce has tomatoes, there's quinoa in there, there's lentils, garlic, onions, herbs, and spices. So what are we adding, okay? How did I roast this? I put some garlic, some salt and pepper, some nutritional yeast, and I put a little aquafaba on these. That's the juice from the can of chickpeas. It's kind of thick, kind of like oil, and it makes like a nice crispy, texture when you bite into it. It's good. So that's what we roast the vegetables on. So what are we adding? We are adding vitamins, right? Minerals, antioxidants, phytochemicals, fluids, fiber, and protein with very little fat and no cholesterol. So that's the difference. That's the difference. Sherry says the old me ate oil, cheese, and meat, and the old you had diabetes. Not anymore, right, Sherry? So carbohydrates are actually your body's main source of energy, and it's your brain's only source of energy. So that's why brain fog and irritability is such a problem when you deny your body carbs, right? So this whole food, plant-based, no oil way of eating is an evidence-based approach with nearly 100 years of medical evidence to support it as the way for all humans to eat for ultimate health and longevity, right? And let's say you do want that cheesy taste. So here I have my homemade nut parm. I put this tiny little sprinkle on, and poof, cheesy taste, okay? So when you understand that that's what the human body uses, how it uses carbs most efficiently, right, with like this, like my clients do, you will find yourself knowing exactly what to eat for ultimate health, effortlessly losing weight, and watching your health problems resolve themselves naturally while eating food you love. So the big bomb here, aside from the calorie density and the fat density of animal foods and vegan junk foods and the lack of that here, is that if you're not eating foods you love, like let's say you're doing one of those programs and they say don't eat grains, or you must eat kale, or this recipe has mushrooms on that predetermined plan, cookie cutter plan they gave you, and you're like, oh, I hate mushrooms, or oh my God, kale, yuck, I don't want kale, or oh, that chickpea pasta is horrible, I hate that. Then you're not gonna like the food. You're gonna say, oh, this is terrible. You're not gonna like the food, and that's why when poof, you're gonna fall off as soon as anything else smells good in your universe. Okay, so that's the difference. Okay, so diet rebels that come to work with me, we make a magic menu that's loaded with only the foods that they love. So they post in the group their magic menus every week, and they're like, oh, my yummy menu. Like, I look forward to seeing Leah's menu every single week, everybody, and they each pick different things, and they each have their own personal menus of foods that they would love, that they want to prepare, that they know how to, that's a new recipe maybe that they would love. It doesn't matter if anybody else loves it, right? We don't do cookie cutter meal plans, it's personal. So that's the difference. You gotta love it, and it's gotta be whole food, plant-based, no oil, or you're not gonna be able to stick to it, lose the weight, and feel better fast. So, what are your main takeaways from this? Let me go back and see. What other questions there might have been. Myra says, fiber, fiber, fiber. Yes, definitely. Okay, so Myra says, how much pasta is that? Do you think I'm measuring my pasta? My diet rebels do not measure. We don't measure. We take what we think we want, and then we eat it, and we say to ourselves, is this enough? Is this too much? Do I want more? And we let the food trigger our body to do its internal counting and let us know when to stop. If we never let our body get over full by accident of eating too much of this kind of food, then it will never be able to tell us. So we don't sit here. Did you see? You saw me just pick it up and put it on there. I didn't measure. I did make sure that I have a large portion of my plate is these kind of greens, non-starchy vegetables, because I want to glow like a goddess, right? I want to have clear skin and bright eyes and lots of strong muscles and energy. So I eat lots of vegetables, but I also eat lots of this. And I don't care how much it is. I do not care how much it is. Okay? So, that's the question. Okay. Lisa's the pasta queen. Elisa says she loves the lentil quinoa bolognese. All right. So, if you do not, what can you substitute nutritional yeast with? Just leave it out. Just don't use it. Just if you don't like it, then don't use it. Okay, so if you do not have the link to my recipes, comment recipes, and Susan or Gail, my green goddesses, will send you the recipes link, and you can just search in there ridiculously good roasted broccoli so that you can learn how to roast without oil, and my lentil quinoa bolognese so that you can see what to put on top of pasta that is amazing and delicious that you will love, okay? And if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired and you want my help, comment Diet Rebel if you're really serious and you want to jump in to a personalized program where you're going to have my help and you're going to be surrounded by these other women who are losing the weight and solving their health problems right alongside you. If that's the type of atmosphere that you want for your health journey, then reach out to me or comment Diet Rebel, and I will reach out to you in Messenger. So let me know what aha moments you had, what you're going to do differently, and I will see you all in the group.